Welcome to the array slide. Array is a unique type of object since it returns an object when type of is applied to it. Remember, to get the data type of any variable, all you need to do is to console.log the type of that particular variable you're looking out for. However, arrays are better represented as arrays in JavaScript because they are used to store related elements and then accessed using their index. For instance, if you want to access the item 3, all you need to do is to start with console.log array using the square bracket notation and passing the index of where the element is located. And when you're dealing with index-based counting, in as much as the length here is 1, 2, 3, and 4, so the length of this R is 4. But when you're using the index counting system, you start from 0. So the first element here is 0, second element is 1, third element is 2, while the fourth element is 3. If you want to access the third element, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, and 3, giving you the fourth element, the fourth value, right? There are various ways you could use to add elements to an array. It all depends on the approach you wish to take. Push adds one or more elements to the end of the array. For instance, we are still using our previously declared variable array here. Now pushing 5 to it gets to add 5 as the last element after 4. Unshift adds one or more elements to the start of the array. If you run array.unshift with a value here, it gets to add the value before the starting point of the previous element we have here. Removing elements from an array. Previously, we learned how to add elements, but now we are going to learn how to remove the element from the array. As simple as calling array.pop removes the last element from the array. For example, if you are calling array.pop, it's going to remove 4, thereby exposing just 1, 2, 3 as the values of the array. Using shift also removes the element at the start of the array. Where you have array.shift gives you 2, 3, 4, thereby removing 1. Now note, you do not get to pass in any value, just like we did in push and unshift. Another option that you can use to remove elements or literally delete everything in the array is to assign the array.length to 0. Remember when I counted the length of this array and I said it's 1, 2, 3, 4 because there are 4 values in the array. So setting the length to 0 literally empties out the array automatically. The other option is to run the array by redeclaring it with an empty array structure, which is to say, since we have array is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, we are just going to set the array to an empty array object here. So technically, we are resetting the entire value of the array. In our next slide, we'll get to talk about objects and how to use objects in JavaScript.